Julian Cross was the undisputed golden boy of Axton University, brilliant, breathtakingly handsome, and dirt poor. Unfortunately for him, he was currently locked in my penthouse. For 2 months, I had treated him like a toy. I made him dance, sing humiliating love songs, kissed him whenever I pleased, and refused to let him wear a decent set of clothes. Yet, his fierce pride remained unbroken. Late one night, I stumbled home drunk. I pinned him against the plush leather sofa, forcing a glass of expensive whiskey down his throat. The amber liquid spilled, staining his lips a deep, swollen pink. I gripped his jaw, leaving red fingerprints on his pale skin. He choked, coughing harshly, his dark eyes glaring at me with pure hatred. I gave him a light, mocking slap across the cheek. Sweetheart, you always choose the hard way, don't you? 6 months ago, I had fallen for him. I spent 3 months pretending to be an innocent underclassman to win his heart, but he wouldn't even look at me. Then, debt collectors trashed his apartment, and his little sister was about to be kicked out of school. I solved his problems with a single wave of my checkbook. All I asked in return was his submission. He refused, stubbornly working 3 jobs to pay me back. Losing my patience, I simply had him kidnapped and brought to my villa. Julian lay back on the sofa, his neck wet with spilled alcohol. If you had just said yes from the start, baby, we wouldn't be here, I whispered, leaning down to press a soft kiss against the small mole on his throat. I adored that spot. Right now, I still like you, so you get kisses. But the day my patience finally runs out, those kisses will turn into teeth. Julian shuddered violently. I slapped his cheek again, gently this time. What do you call me? Julian averted his eyes, his voice rigid and dripping with reluctance. Mistress. Satisfied, I let him go. But as I stood up, a sudden wave of dizziness hit me, and glowing, translucent text began floating across my vision. OMG, this is so hot. The first step to taming the cold campus prince, locked up and forced. The Yandere villain and the toxic villainess deserve each other. Evil meets evil. Such a toxic but beautiful couple. Too bad Julian brutally tortures and kills her in the end, leaving one dead and the other ruined. Who? Us? I was a toxic villainess, and he was a Yandere villain who would murder me. I stared at Julian. With his sharp brow bones, lush lips, and piercing, downturned eyes, he possessed the perfect, beautiful face of a man who hated the world. Right now, panting on my couch, he looked thoroughly disheveled and slightly pathetic. I only wanted his love. How did a harmless obsession turn into mutual destruction? And how on earth did he end up turning into a killer? To save my own skin and alter our tragic ending, I decided to become a decent person. My first order of business, stop touching him. For the next 2 weeks, I left early and came home late. When I finally stumbled back into the penthouse after a late-night business meeting, I was surprised to find Julian still awake. He had just showered. He wore a loose, sleeveless gray tank top, his toned shoulders and chest taut. Beneath his athletic shorts, his long, muscular legs were on full display. Seeing me, he froze, his brow furrowing slightly. I forced myself to look away and headed straight for my bedroom. Back so late, his voice drifted from behind me, sharp and venomous. And you smell like a brewery. Disgusting. Ignoring his attitude, I yawned. I'm going to bed. You should sleep too. By the way, I bought you a gift the other day. The package should have arrived. Julian let out a cold scoff. He marched to his room and returned carrying a glossy black box. Is this your idea of a gift? He popped the lid. Inside lay a scandalously short, skimpy lace dress designed with crisscrossing straps. It was customized precisely to his measurements. I stared at it for a moment before remembering I had ordered it weeks ago, back when I was still trying to humiliate him. Before I could say a word, Julian grabbed the hem of his shirt and pulled it over his head. He turned his face away, his lips pressed into a hard line, his jaw tense. His pale, leanly muscled chest and narrow waist were exposed to the cool air. His muscle definition was flawless, like a marble statue.